The 27th of September marks the 20th anniversary of the official launch of the South Wales Female Police Association, known today as the Gender Equality Network, or GEN for short. My name is Sarah Jane Bray and I'm chair of the GEN, having been a member for a number of years. As a network, we work with colleagues across the force to ensure South Wales Police provides a positive working environment for all by encouraging fair representation at rank and in roles. We provide support to officers and staff on key issues such as professional development, health and wellbeing, and ensure we are a family-friendly organisation through flexible working options. We are not an exclusive club for women, and we are really proud of having a significant number of men who support us through our He for She programme and the Men's Health Group. We know that the more inclusive we are as a network, the more effective we are in ensuring decisions and practices don't inadvertently discriminate against anyone. Now and in the future, we will continue to engage on a wide range of issues to encourage equal opportunities, building on the great work of the women who came before us to ensure we continue to look to the future. The anniversary gives us a great opportunity to reflect on how far we have come.
I'm Kath Larkman. I joined South Wales Police in September 1989, straight from university, and I retired as an operational superintendent based in Swansea, Leith, Port Talbot in March 2021. In around 1999-2000, as a young sergeant working in the west side of the force, I was asked if I'd be interested in becoming involved in a committee potentially to set up a female police association within South Wales Police. I thought hard about this. It wasn't a lengthy thought process because I was convinced quite quickly that this was an important thing to do. So I got involved with a small group of women and we met regularly at headquarters to discuss this. It felt a bit like we were a sort of group of rebels really at the time, because certain colleagues even then were sort of deeply suspicious as to why we would be even thinking of doing this, and that quite frankly that we shouldn't do it. So we set up the Female Police Association. I'm very proud to have been part of that. I was the first treasurer for the Female Police Association as a committee member. And when we issued the membership badges, in effect, on the membership cards, I was member number 1. There was a significant bit of kickback against that organisation, hostility from some officers, confusion from others as to why it was necessary as well, and it was incumbent upon those of us who were involved in that really, and our allies, to explain really to those colleagues who perhaps misunderstood the reasons for the Female Police Association to exist. It was incumbent upon us to explain those. We had support from the top of the organisation, absolutely, and Chief Constable at the time, Mr. Burden, was obviously present in terms of the official launch and spoke well at that official launch as well, and was wholly supportive, as was the top of the organisation. But it was getting the hearts and minds of the rank and file of the organisation that I feel was a significant challenge in those early days. I am really, really proud to have been part of that Female Police Association in the inception. It's difficult, I think, for officers and staff to sort of envisage today in 2021 how difficult it was even back then to set that up and to face the sort of questions, the challenges and the concerns of colleagues around that. It was a very, very different era. And I'm really, really glad and proud that it continues today.
My name's Lisa Gore and I served as the network chair from 2015 until 2019. But I've been involved with the running of the network since about 2010. I was and still am passionate about making the network both professional and accountable. And I've always been passionate about how our network continues to challenge inequality and educate in order to improve the working environment for our colleagues. To promote and champion greater levels of inclusion, I rebranded the network in 2016 from the Female Police Association, the FPA, to become the Gender Equality Network, known simply as the GEN. I also created a membership category for male allies, which would later be aligned to He for She, which is the UN-led global effort to engage men and boys in removing the social and cultural barriers that prevent women and girls from achieving their potential. Since 2013, I've represented the GEN on national and international stages. In my current role with the GEN, I'm involved in joining together our own staff network with the likes of the BAWP and the IAWP. There is so much to be learned from other colleagues in other countries, and there is so much that we can share in return. The opportunities for problem solving by speaking to colleagues in other countries should not be underestimated. Sometimes we become so tunnel-visioned that we forget that crime is the same all over the world. It's just the context and the resources to tackle it that are different, and it can be refreshing and enlightening to speak to a colleague in another country about how they deal with an issue, and I want to encourage the use of these contacts in my role within the GEN.
The Gender Equality Network has certainly come a long way in the last 20 years, but there is still much to be done in the pursuit for true gender equality within the organisation. This can only be done with the support of our members and our colleagues. If you would like to know more about the Gender Equality Network, check out our page on the Force website, and we're also on Twitter at SWPGen.